Welcome to Social Ella Ministries, where we are committed to glorifying God and exposing the devil. By the way, I'm actually working with two cameras. So if you see me kind of looking off camera, more than likely I'm looking to the other camera. So please bear with me. As far as I know, I have two messages to record. And this first one is a testimony. I booked a flight for yesterday, and I flew out of town. And it was a cheap ticket. As a result, I couldn't choose a seat, and I couldn't carry a full-size carry-on bag. So keep those in mind as I continue. I woke up yesterday, and I woke up with plenty of time to spare. But I had something I needed to do, and I did it. And it caused me to leave the house a little bit later than I wanted to. So I reached the airport later than I wanted to. Even though I was only going to be gone for a day, I still parked in economy parking. It's basically a wide open parking lot, and there are several bus stops along the way inside the parking lot. Now I did get to the airport on time, because I know how far away I live from the airport. So I did get to the airport on time to park. And because I didn't have luggage, except for my smallest size carry-on, checking in really wasn't going to be a problem. When I was pulling into the economy parking, there was a spot immediately to the left. And more than likely, my other camera just went out. Wow. Anyhow, more than likely, or it made sense to park in the close to the first bus stop, especially since but I didn't hear an audible voice. But I just kind of felt like I needed to pull up to the next bus stop on the left. So I drove for around 100 meters up to the next bus stop in economy parking. And it's a good thing that I listened to that feeling, because immediately over on the right hand side was a parking spot. And it's kind of like, how did this conveniently located parking spot get there? How was it there? It's the waiting room. So I parked there. And as if that wasn't enough, things got better. As soon as I walked over to the left in order to get to the bus stop, I looked to my left, and to the next bus stop to the left was a bus, and it pulled up right in front of me. I checked in. While checking in, I got a screen on the kiosk saying I need to wait for a customer service agent to come over, and the person just showed up, was just right there. Scanned his card, cleared me, saying that my baggage I was carrying met the requirements for the ticket that I was flying on. And by the way, when I fly, I love flying window seats. My ticket was for a window seat. So all those things, blessing on top of blessings. Now for you, these may not be a big deal, but for me they are. Because a lot of times, we're going through a dark period of our lives. And it always looks dark, because that's all we can see. And growing up, there was a saying about every dark cloud has a silver lining. So can you see that silver lining in the dark clouds of your life? And for me as a Christian, that dark cloud, or that silver lining in every dark cloud, is Jesus. Because I know no matter how bad things get, that He is good. Actually, He's more than good. So all these things are just happening. And even though in a sense you could say I was running behind, going through airport security, there were a few people. I may have been the last one to show up on the plane. But then we're still waiting there for a little bit, just in case anyone else showed up. So I actually had time to spare. So all throughout the morning, it may have seemed as if I was running behind, but I ended up being right on time. Now you may have heard a saying that the Lord is a right on time God. And sometimes He'll wait until the last minute in order to show up gloriously with something. But a part of this message, and with what I just said, there are times in life when you feel as if you're behind, when so many opportunities have passed you by. But God, when He shows up, everything is different. You may think that you're behind, but you may be right on time. In the life of Joseph, there's so many things that happened that seem as if he'd missed opportunities, as if the promises the Lord had made to him were not going to come to pass. Things just kept on worse, getting worse and worse, darker and darker. But eventually, the Lord delivered Joseph, and everything that seems to be setting him behind went right on schedule. The Lord's schedule. The Lord opened doors for him. When I flew to Denver, Colorado, when I got to Denver, I had rented a car. And by the way, this time around when I booked the ticket, I got an email about being able to rent a car at a discounted price. That was another blessing, being able to rent a car at a discounted price. When I showed up at the airport in Denver, I got off and I went over to where they have shuttle buses to take us to the rental car companies. Well, I found my rental car agency and I went over to the spot. There are some people who are there waiting ahead of me. And when I showed up, I just walked up a little bit ahead of them. I didn't know exactly where the bus was going to stop, and I thought that when the bus showed up, I was going to have to walk backwards in order to get to them. Lo and behold, the bus passed them and stopped right by me. I mean, the door opened right in front of me. So again, if this stuff was just happening one by one, it may have seemed like a big deal. But and with all these things happening, the Lord was just showing himself mighty. Then I showed up at the rental car company. I was to the left, and there was a man who came in to the right, and he tried renting a car, and they told him they didn't have any cars left, and they were recommending that he go seek another company. I had a mid-sized car reserved. The lady checked me in, and she told me to go to Zone 2, or Zone 1 rather, and pick any car that I want. I said, what? Now, I went, and I was looking in Zone 1. And I was like, hold up, did she make a mistake? Because Zone 1 says full size. But the thing is, when I looked neck over in front of me to Zone 2, where the mid-sized cars were supposed to be, it was empty. Now, she tried offering me an upgrade, but I'd have to pay for it. But I told her I wanted a car that I paid for. And that was a brilliant move on the Lord's part, because I was going to get upgraded for free, because I had reserved a car, but they didn't have it. So I got to upgrade for free. Now, with all those cars that I had to choose from, it's like, Lord, it's like, which one? And I did end up choosing a car. And it turns out that the car was a hybrid, so I actually saved on gas, because when I came back, I had to top it off. Throughout the day, I realized that things were going so well. And there are times when it kind of came across my mind, how long is this going to last? When is the enemy going to show up? And how many of you have ever been blessed, and you start wondering, where's the enemy in this? And a part of all these things happening is in Revelation 3. Jesus said that he has the keys of David, and he opens doors that no one can shut, and he shuts doors that no one can open. So even if the enemy shows up, what is he going to do? In Revelation 20:10, it is written that the devil will be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are. The devil cannot stop that prophecy from coming to pass, so he cannot stop the Lord's will from coming to pass in your life. That's why we can say, the Lord's will be done. He is God. His words will not return unto him void, for they will accomplish everything that he has purposed. And not just everything that he has purposed, but everything he's purposed in your life. In the book of Joshua, it clearly lets us know that all of the promises of the Lord, that they came to pass. The Lord is faithful to his promises. So all these things going on incredibly well. And I was looking for opportunities for things the Lord wanted me to do while I was in Denver. Oh yes, the enemy did show up. Now when it's time to turn my car, I wanted to be at the airport in time, because the last time I was there, going through airport security, it took a long time. So unlike my home airport, I want to ensure that I was at Denver International Airport with enough time to clear airport security, to turn in my car, and also with traffic conditions. I'm driving on different highways, for example I-70, and there was traffic, but I made it to the rental car place in time. Turning the vehicle, it was a breeze. They had shuttles waiting. No problems there. I showed up at the airport, and same thing like in the morning. I was checking in, same kind of ticket. I got to the point where someone needed to come over and scan their card to clear me that my baggage met the requirements. I'm waiting, and I saw a customer service agent on the other side of the islands of kiosks that I was standing at. She was helping a man, and then she walked over to the other customer service representatives. And it was kind of taking a long time, but I was patient. There was another sets of kiosks were behind me and also in front of me. I saw another representative over on that side, but he was helping someone. So I was patient, and again, because I showed up at the airport with enough time to spare, I wasn't in a rush. She was helping a man, then another customer service agent came over and started helping a man that was beside me to my right. But I needed help before him. Then someone else needed help. The next thing I know, I'm thinking one of the two ladies is going to help me. Then they started walking off. And I'm like, am I invisible? Is this red flashing light on top of the kiosk? Is that invisible? When the devil tried tempting Jesus, one of the first things he tried to do was to get for him to act out of his flesh. But the Lord didn't act out of his flesh. The Lord realized it was the devil trying to tell him to turn stone into bread. And the enemy was trying to get me to act out of my flesh. But it's not my personality to act that way. I'm not going to get belligerent just because people ignored me. In fact, I just came from a meeting. And when I was driving to the meeting, the Lord let me know about how the enemy was working in a sense to try to make me seem invisible. And that's what one of the devices of the enemy when he's trying to block you from godly opportunities. He'll make you invisible to others. People who could bless you, they may not, it's like they don't even see you. And they may even know they should bless you, and the enemy will start putting things into their mind regarding why they should. That's how he works, to try to stop things of the Lord. But again, the Lord opens doors no one can shut, and he shuts doors that no one can open. A part of how the enemy tries to subvert the Lord is that the Lord will open a door, but the enemy tries blocking the door so you can't see it. He tries to prevent two people, for example, from connecting. A lot of times we want the Lord to do something, but he's given us the authority to do it. So when the ladies were walking away, I spoke loud enough. I raised my voice to get the lady's attention. And I let her know I'd been standing here for several minutes, patiently waiting. And she came over, took care of the issue. Went downstairs to security. It actually took less time than I thought. Maybe I was out of there in 20 minutes through airport security. And I actually had enough time to walk through all three of the terminals. It was also like aviation, and I was taking photographs of planes and stuff. And by the way, I also got another window seat. And my seat number, even though it was on a different aircraft, was the same number as what I had before. And then I closed my eyes. And then I started having some visions. And I really saw what the enemy was up to. Things he was trying to do. So the enemy did show up. And it would seem as if all those blessings that had been going on throughout the day, that now those blessings were over. And the enemy was just going to obliterate those things. Because sometimes we are waiting for the bottom to drop out. And when it drops out, it's like, oh, I knew it. And sometimes we're so heavily entrenched in warfare that we're used to things being stressful. We're used to having to contend for things. But the Lord said that he would contend with those who contend with us. When the enemy comes like a flood, the Holy Spirit raises the standard against him. So it seems as if things were going for the worst. I arrived at my home airport, went outside waiting in my shuttle, to take me to the economy parking. It didn't take long, and there were only 3 of us on the shuttle. And it seemed as if things were kind of mellowing out, all those blessings. Suddenly I was on the mountaintop, and now I had to get back down into the valley. The driver asked us which stop that we need to go. My stop should have been the last. Next thing I know, the driver pulled up at my stop first. So the blessings hadn't stopped. All those things from the enemy had not stopped God. The enemy cannot stop God. I got in my car at that incredible spot. Nothing had happened to my car. I drove off, and next thing I know, I saw that my tire pressure monitoring system went off. It was red, all 4 of my tires. Well, I have run flats, but when I was driving, I went to pay. I opened the door, and I looked on my side, and I didn't see the tires looking flat. But I ended up driving to the gas station close by the airport. But the light wasn't very good. And I inflated my tires, but I couldn't see the gauge. And I was like, well, in the morning, today, I'll just go to my tire shop, and I'd ask the guys to verify the tire pressure for me with their compressor and also their electronic gauge. I was driving to the gym this morning before the meeting, and I just felt like I need to go to the tire shop first. When the Lord speaks, it's not always an audible voice. Sometimes it's a feeling. But I just felt like I needed to go to the tire shop first. And I did. And someone came out and bug, just bit me, but someone came out and he was inflating my tires for me. And he started talking about, like, where do I order my tires, and about they can give me the price cheaper than where I've been getting them for years. Now, at this tire shop, they have been very gracious to me. And a part of the reason why I say my tire shop is that for all the tire shops in town, I actually like this one. Last time I got tires put on, they put it on. And they just treated me as if I had bought the tires there. And because of that, whenever I have an issue, if I need to get like tires replaced, alignment, I go there because of how they treated me. And I keep people in mind like that. And this morning on Facebook, I posted something about Naomi, that there wouldn't be a Boaz and a Ruth without Naomi. And a part of that is, who is your Naomi? Who are the people who played a tremendous supporting role in the story of your life? Another part of that is, whose Naomi are you? Who has the Lord called you to bless? Like Naomi, it seems as if her life was over. But in being a blessing to Ruth and Boaz, when they had Obed, it was a blessing to her. When she showed up at Bethlehem, Judah, she was telling people, do not call me Naomi, call me Mara. It's like her life had become bitter. But they could call her Naomi again. She was happy. In being a blessing to others, the Lord blessed her through that. Like I mentioned, every time I've gone to that tire shop, they have treated me so well. That's like I could move to another state and I'd come back here just to go to that tire shop, as long as those people are still there, because of how they treated me. But the Lord was not finished yet, because the enemy attacked even throughout the night, trying to shut down all those things, trying to kill my faith, because without faith, it is impossible to please God. And He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So the enemy was trying to get me to give up, trying to make me think that the blessings were over. And to you, these may not be blessings at all. But do not despise small beginnings. Do not despise small beginnings. So I appreciated all these things, the Lord showing Himself mighty. And even though the enemy got a crack at it, the Lord still prevailed. Then this morning, after the young man inflated my tires, I was actually going to check to see how much tread life I have left on my tires, because I was actually thinking about taking him up on his offer to where I wouldn't order my tires where I haven't times past, and just order it through the shop, if they can deliver like he said. So I was going to check my tire, and I was behind the vehicle, and I looked down and I saw something that shocked me. I don't know when it got there, but it also made me realize why the tire pressure monitoring system went off. It was an alarm. I saw a shiny object in my tires, and the young man went to go get a pair of pliers, and he basically had to unscrew it. And he also had a bottle of soapy water. And as he was removing this object, he kept on spraying to see if my tires have been punctured. Because that deal you're talking about ordering tires, there's a possibility I'd have to do that. And I hope I'm not boring you with this story. But to me, all these things are incredible. And when he pulled this object out of my tire, and I'm looking down at it, it was this screw. This is the top part. This, what I'm seeing here, is the shiny part that was looking at me. I had this in my tire. All of this in my tire. And I didn't have a flat. All of this in my tire, and it didn't puncture it. Now tell me God isn't good. So it's a good thing that I obeyed, and I can say the Lord said, when He let me know, go to the tire shop first. And yes, I had to cut my workout short to make it to the meeting on time, but I had to cut my my workout short. But if I had not obeyed, this nail could have been driven into my tire, and I'd needed to get a new one. Because it was also in a location where there's a possibility they would not have been able to plug it. So because of obedience, rather than being a totally damaged tire, I was saved. I don't know about you, but I don't like spending money just for the sake of spending money. So with all these things, the Lord is getting the glory. And I shared a part of this story when I was at the meeting this morning. And the interesting thing about me making this video right now is that when I came home last night, I was like, oh, this story is too good. And I was tired because I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I reached back home going on 10 o'clock at night. I recorded the video and didn't record the way I wanted it to. And it's a good thing that that didn't work out also, because I'd have missed the part about the nail. Because my plan was to record a video and upload it shortly afterwards. But because I waited, the Lord is getting more glory because I can tell a story. And I said nail, actually screw. I can tell a story about how the screw was lodged in my tire. And the screw is about 1 inch long. Got in my tire, and it didn't puncture it. So for all this, the Lord gets the glory. And one of the things the enemy was trying to do was to stop the Lord from getting the glory. And everything the enemy tried using for harm, the Lord is using for good. The enemy tried hard to stop it, but he couldn't. The enemy's also tried hard to get me to shut my mouth, but I won't. He keeps trying, I keep talking. But of everything that happened yesterday, the Lord showed himself mighty. It was a day of open doors. It was a day of open doors. Thank you, Lord. Another thing, when the Lord opened doors for you, be careful about who tries to come in to those doors. Because not everyone needs to go to where the Lord is taking you. And when a door is open, wow. Oh yeah, last time when I came home, I opened my garage door, and a part of that, when I came home, it was cooler than it was in the day. So I opened my garage door to let the cool air come in, so it's not hot in the house. And I had the lights off. And I went to go check my mail and some other things. And when I was getting ready to close the garage door, I heard this noise. I'm like, what in the world is that? And a frog had hopped into my house. And the thing is, when I turned on the light, it startled the frog. And that's what drove the frog out. In the book of Revelation, it speaks about a beast with evil spirits in the shape of a frog, or frogs, coming out of its mouth. So it's like that frog could represent the enemy. And how when I turned the light on, it startled him and startled it and caused it to hop out of my house. Jesus is the light. He is the light of this world. And when the light came on, it drove the enemy out. This message, almost 26 minutes. I have said a lot. Didn't think it was going to be this long. The message last night was only about 6 minutes long. But the Lord is getting more glory out of this story. I pray this has been a blessing to you. I hope it encourages you that as you're waiting on the Lord for whatsoever, that you continue to wait. If He made you a promise that in due time He will deliver. God bless you.